What's up, everyone? It is the Beast. Welcome back to the Beast on my YouTube channel. Okay, I'm in my comfy again. Why? Because it's the best gift my wife ever got me. Thank you, Shark Tank. Thank you, Comfy. Please let them know that I wear their thing like 24/7, 365. I mean, I change all the clothes underneath it. I mean, new pairs of underwear and all that stuff. But this thing is so comfortable. I can't take it off. Hey, today, the day I'm recording this is Friday, October 2nd, a day that will live in infamy for several reasons, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first of all, if you see this unshaven, needing a haircut situation, face, or hear my voice, please subscribe to the channel. We're moving on the subs, man. We're almost there. We're almost to 1,000. We're almost at the goal. Let's do this. We can do this. Subscribe to the channel and share this video. Share the channel. Tell the people, and I would greatly appreciate it. So, October 2nd, 2020, a day that'll live in infamy. It's the day that we found out early this morning, just before 1 o'clock, that the president and first lady tested positive for COVID-19. And this is a completely apolitical post video. So don't worry. This is not going anywhere. First of all, no matter how you feel about the president and first lady, pro or con, I would say that it's always good to wish people the best when they are ill, and to pray that they aren't affected seriously, and to make sure that they're okay. Because despite how you feel about them politically, they're humans, and you don't want anything bad to happen, despite how you might feel. That's just my deal on it. You start wishing bad on people, and karma can be come back at you. So there you go. But what I want to attack is just this brings up, like, for a political science wonk like me, just a complete nerd, just to go back, at the University of Miami, obviously my main major was broadcasting, but they made you have double majors. My other major was political science, and really up until like my junior year of college, there was a good chance I was going into government. I was going to be one of those apolitical government workers, working at one of the departments, doing my best for this country, because that's what interests me. I took a lot in college. I took a lot of national defense classes and foreign affairs classes, and I did a summer semester at American University. And so I really have a wonky background when it comes to this stuff. Not to say that I'm great at it. It's just it's one of the things that has always interested me. So what comes up in times of this is when the president is ill, is obviously the what happens next. Where's the vice president? Is he in a secret bunker being sheltered from everything? Was the vice president exposed? What happens if they both get sick and are in the hospital? Do we get to President Nancy Pelosi? Holy crap, people's heads will blow up. It's just, all of this is crazy. I mean, like last night, I felt, man, I was just about to go to bed. It was like 12:30. We found out Hope Hicks, the senior advisor for the president, had tested positive, and you're like thinking about, oh man, all the people she's been around. They're showing video of her getting on to Marine One with Jared Kushner and all the senior level people, and she's felt sick and all this stuff, and it's just all going through your head. And then I'm just about to shut it down, and then all of a sudden I'm doing my Twitter thing, and boom, there's the president saying I've got COVID, and holy shit. And now I'm turning it on, and I'm flipping around the channels, I'm seeing what's going on, I'm getting on the news, and then it's like old school, man. We go old school. I flipped it on NBC over the air. NBC, old school, NBC. Not your MSNBC, not your CNN, not your Fox, not any of your news channels. Your regular NBC. And at like 1 o'clock in the morning, there's Brian Williams breaking into programming with breaking news. This is for a news junkie, for a political junkie, for just a wonky, this is like crack. and I just snorted and shot it all. I was just in it for a good 2 hours. And finally, after 3 o'clock, I decided, all right, I'm going to shut it down for a couple hours. Nothing is going to change on this story. And so I went to bed at 3, woke up at 6, and was back at it, just consuming. Went to bed went back, took a little cat nap between 7:30 and 9, back at it, and here we're going. We're still going. And I'm like, I hate to say this because it's bad, but I'm like a kid in a candy store, and I've only had one cup of coffee, and I'm flying on almost no sleep. This kind of stuff gets me going because of just all of the different scenarios of who could possibly have it. How does this affect Amy Coney Barrett's justice hearings? How does this affect Congress? How does this affect the White House? How does this affect the election? We're like a month out from the election. How does this affect the election? How does this affect campaigning? How does this affect debates? This is just, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. And I don't want to, I've seen it out there. I'm not really a conspiracy theory type of person, although I firmly do believe there are aliens in Area 51 and, a couple other things. But otherwise, I'm not really, second gumming on the grassy knoll type of guy, for the most part. I all these conspiracy theories, the QAnon crap, take it and stuff it. I like to base, and maybe I'm a little idealistic and somewhat naive and thinking that this stuff doesn't actually happen. But I like to base my thoughts on, and my feelings and my logic on kind of science and proven. And, it goes back to this, which is, it's not just the keep it simple, stupid philosophy, but I'm a hypochondriac. And I have been for ever because my mom has trained me to be one. And I'm a neurotic Jew, which put those two together, and you got no chance. And back in college, I was infamous on campus for watching an episode of ER on a Thursday night and then walking into the student health services Friday morning thinking that I had whatever disease was on ER the night before, because that's the way my brain works. And there was this doctor, I think it was Dr. Mary Scott was her name. She was foreign. She was from the UK. And she was older. And oftentimes I would request to see her. I really liked her a lot when I went to the student health services. And finally, in one of these, panicky, I've got some rare disease, do all the blood work and whatever, she just sat me down and said, listen, there's a philosophy in medicine, sure, there's all these bad things out there, and there's, some random chance that someone could have one of these things, but if you've got the symptoms of a cold, it's most likely just a cold. More often than not, a lot more often than not, just a cold. And I've kind of tried to stick to that philosophy ever since then. I've tried to stay grounded that way, because otherwise my mind will take me places that are only bad. So that's why I don't really get into the conspiracy theories, because if there's a logical way to explain something that seems like it's the likely option, that's most likely the option. But I have seen people out there going, hey, the president isn't really have the COVID. He's going to come out of this in 2 weeks and say that hydroxychloroquine cured him and blah, 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 blah. Then there's the other people that are saying, well, he wanted to get the COVID or say that he has the COVID because he looked at what happened to Boris Johnson in the UK. And Boris Johnson was really sick and had to go to the ICU with the COVID. And then when he got out of the hospital and was better, his ratings went up and he was basically able to do whatever he wanted in that country because the citizenship felt bad for him that he had gotten so sick. And so that's out there. And I'm not trying to believe in that. So I'm going to go with that the president and first lady really are positive with COVID and they didn't intend on doing this. And this is a thing that's going to completely impact really our lives over the next couple of weeks, if not longer. Um, and some people are saying, well, the president will use this as a way to drop out of the race, and it'll end up being Mike Pence, Nikki Haley ticket. And listen, I don't know. There's a million theories out there. I'm not buying into any of them. All I know is this: is that I um, I've studied a lot of our political history. I've studied a lot of stuff that has happened throughout this country's history, and we are in unique times with this situation. And just to kind of show you what kind of unique times we're in, and really how wonky I am, and this will tell you is the people I follow on Twitter. Like if you go look at my Twitter at Miami Radio East and look at the people I follow, and you will get nerded out like crazy. Okay, but one of the people I follow last night called it because he tweeted that it was just after Hope Hicks' story broke and before Trump said that whatever, but the United States basically sent up two Navy E-6B aircraft. And you're like, what the hell is that? Well, to simplify it, they're called the Looking Glass aircraft. And they are basically our doomsday scenario aircraft. And what they are is aircraft. They're based, I think the fuselage is based on the 737. Obviously, it's got all sorts of doodads that we don't even know about inside. But basically, it gives control of every single defense system, anything that you could do from where all of our strategic command posts are out in Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska, where that used to be the home of Stratcom. It's called something else now. I've been there. I've taken a tour. It's crazy. It's awesome. But anything that you could do from Stratcom or NORAD or what have you, you could do from these Looking Glass planes. You can launch missiles. You can talk to subs. You can all of the things that you need to do to basically run a war. You could do from these Looking Glass planes. And just before the president tweeted that he was positive, so obviously someone knew he was positive. We had a Looking Glass plane out over the East Coast around Washington and out over the West Coast in the Pacific. And this was clearly done in me doing my research this morning and going and doing my research on this stuff. This was clearly done as a deterrent to our adversaries to say, hey, our president's sick. Don't bleep with us right now. We got our planes up. Our military is ready to go. Don't take advantage of this moment. And everyone I follow that's in the Homeland Security ilk has basically confirmed that's what we would do as a nation. Like if something happened to the president where adversaries might think like the president is at a weak point, he's sick, he's hurt, he's blah blah blah, let's attack now. That's what the first thing we would do is we would get these Looking Glass planes up so that we would have the ability to have command and control of our armed forces in the air. So that's how I know or kind of think or believe that this is the real deal, because I don't think that would happen if this were fake. So that's my wonky message for now. But I know there's really no point to this, and I've just babbled on, but I had to talk to somebody, so it might as well be you. All right. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Share it. We're almost up to 1,000 scrubs, or subs, not scrubs. You guys aren't scrubs. I don't want no scrubs. I just want some subs. Subs are what's gonna pay my electric bills. Okay, I'm not gonna sing anymore, but I will see you when I see you. So, peace.